Yeah. Good evening, all. Hope you're all well. Little bit different this week. Welcome to round 7 at Summit Point for the CXR GT3 Championship, the US version brackets. Tonight, I'm with my usual cohorts, Ruben and Phil. Good evening, chaps.
Evening.
Exactly. Looks. Yep. So today, track temp, 45 degrees, track temperature, and 31 ambient. So it's quite a warm day out there. Just having a look, altitude, 192 meters. No idea if that's high or not.
I think the track temp is a little bit off, though.
Is it?
Yeah,
You've been out there, have you? Have you walked around?
It's 33 degrees track temp at the moment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says there. Quite right. Oh, well. Oh, someone take the scenic route there. That's David Fasoli, I think. So, I don't recall this track, to be honest. It looks a straightforward track.
I can't correct you. I haven't seen it either, as far as I know. And I've driven a lot, but I can't recall Summit Point.
And what's your biscuit of choice at the moment, Ruben?
A Twix.
Man. Big chomp.
Yeah, it was nice when you said, Ruben, okay. No, it's like like I said, I don't recall as well being in any other sim or race game, but don't let it mistake you because it's or mislead you because it's a challenging track. It's quite flowy with some slight elevation changes, but you've got some turns or corners where you can definitely get caught out by ending up in the gravel or just clipping a wheel on the grass. Especially coming into, I think it's turn 4, if I'm correct, turn 3, turn 4. If you take it wrong there and you end up on the grass, it could be that you'll be sliding all the way over to the other section of the track. If you look at the track map, it's the right top of it. So it's, but yeah, it's a fun but challenging track.
Excellent stuff. So having a quick look at the early lap times, Peter Smith currently sitting on provisional with a 108.04. So fairly short track. It's going to be, I'm guessing, best part of 40-ish laps. So yeah, I'm not sure if any car's going to have a particular advantage on this one. Although there is what looks like a long straight, but in reality probably isn't. But we shall see how it pans out. So good evening all. League tables haven't been updated, but I do know Peter Smith is actually leading it because he was tied last week but won. And I think, but I'm not 100%, Adam Southgate is probably second.
Quickly going off from the chat, apparently Luke McKeon couldn't go for a qualifying lap. I see also Vulcan Sim saying your pit is holding my driver, but the last thing I've seen from Luke is he had a received throughput felt to an acceptable level, which means that he probably had some sort of internet connection issue, but he's showing as connected again, so he'll be rejoining this session and hopefully he can go out on track and do his qualifying.
Well, fingers crossed, still plenty of time to get some laps in, particularly on a short circuit. Oh, someone's going scenic route over there in the back. Oh, 2 people going scenic route. That might be the corner you talk about, Ruben.
Well, you've got different corners, which, yeah, if you're just taking them not quite the way you want to, then it can cost you quite severely. Going on from the practice, we'll gonna see some drivers in the 107s, as we already have Peter Smith and Adam Southgate, both in the 107s in qualifying. But we also had Mark Fletcher, Kieran Smart, Stephen Bird, and I think Billy Fletcher in the 107s. So it looks like it could be a close call on qualifying and on who's going to take the pole.
Just as we say that, Stephen Bird has gone into third with a 107.89. And then Mark Fletcher's gone second with a 107.84.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see. Nice close racing. Less than 3 tenths separating the top 5.
Round 7 again already.
I know, we're near the end, believe it or not.
Sure goes fast, yeah, it sure goes fast.
It's...
We've got tonight Summit Point and next week at Watkins Glen. So,
yeah, looking forward to that one as well, as a season ender.
One of my faves. Are we going to have a driver of the day today, Phil, or are we on bare bones?
We should be able to do driver of the day. I'm going to try it anyway. We'll try to do everything.
Well, we can still do it. If it wouldn't work properly, then we can still do it, and people just have to put the name into the chat, and you can count. Mark.
10, 4, 6. Yeah, I win.
That hard. I don't think he can count.
Do I have to take my socks off?
What?
To count. I'm not from Kent. I haven't got like 7 digits on each one.
Adam Southgate.
So if you guys have any questions, fire them through. Sorry.
I was just about to say Adam Southgate crosses the line, goes third.
Himself in third.
Ooh.
But it's still looking relatively close, while Stephen Bird has the pole position for now.
So shout out race control. I assume we've got Neil, Aaron and Ed. The
yes, we do.
The 3 wise men sorting out any issues on track.
Wise. I'm not sure what you want to call wise, but...
Well, you could call them the 3 Stooges if you prefer, but I was being polite.
Wise is a stretch.
While we just saw David Fasole going off, and that was at one part of the track that I mentioned. If you go too wide, you end up in the gravel, and yeah, obviously you'll lose the grip. You can hold it, but it's quite difficult, and yeah,
Suspect
cost him his lap.
So Stephen Bird now is on pole, 107.69, getting ahead of Peter Smith. And Adam Southgate still holding third just for Mark Fletcher. Interesting little battle between those 4. Roughly a third through qualifying. So do you fancy put the curse on?
That's what we tend to do, don't we?
Well, you got it right last week. Full kudos to you.
I don't know yet.
Everyone's gone quiet. I don't know.
looking at the top 16, it's divided by 1.1 second. Still looking close. Luke is out on track. So Vulcan Sim and Wins, their driver, is out on track. He still needs to put in a good lap time though, but he at least will be able to put qualifying laps in. Try to position himself as best as possible because he was in the 107s. Oh, where did Luke go? There he went.
He went
Right.
into P18.
108.9. Yeah. Jump to P18. He did a 107.674 in practice, which with that lap time put him in provisional pole. But of course he'll need to do it again.
Maybe we should go on board with him, although he is right on the back of someone else. I'm not sure whether that's going to impede him or help him, I guess, at this stage. He's been let go.
Well, oh, wow, Kieran Smart has a spin. And I think Billy Fletcher was caught out of it a little bit.
Goes into P5.
One of the other drivers also did a 107 or 2 actually. Billy Fletcher and Kieran Smart. Kieran Smart currently with a 108.123 and Billy so far with a 108.450.
Yeah, so interestingly, we're seeing two Ferraris currently leading the way from the Fords. So maybe the Ford doesn't hold the power around here that it needs.
No, it doesn't have doesn't have the long straight where you can.
Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't really given them that advantage of using the power of the Ford. And also it is a little bit of a bumpy track, and obviously you want to ride the curbs on this track, and that's something that the Ford doesn't really prefer. So that's something else that's not.
Yeah, Luke McEwen's actually just split up the two Fords there, taking his Audi into P4, splitting up Peter Smith and Adam Southgate, P3 and P5, respectively.
Well done, Luke. And Luke spins. Oh. And he got a tap from, I think it was David, who gave him a little tap.
Kevin Smart moves up into P6. On board with Billy Fletcher. Stay on board with him for a lap. Currently in P12. Obviously going to be looking to improve on that time. Not too much to find actually. You're only looking at 5 tenths of a second.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking really, really close. But I think that was to be expected on this track. But that's going to be quite interesting for the race. While Morten Hobson is a moment. And I'm following David for a little bit, and it seems like he's struggling a little bit with the cold tires coming out of the pits. So he just needs to back off a little bit, maybe get the heat into the tires.
Looks like Adam Southgate's actually on a faster lap here, so let's watch him come across the line. Oh no, he's already come across the line, sorry. He go into P4 actually. Push Luke back
Yep.
into P5. Billy Fletcher moves up into P6.
But it's 4 drivers in the 107.7. I mean,
Yeah, that is ridiculously close.
it is. And even the time of Stephen Bird, it's a 6.683, so close to a 107.7 as well. So that just shows it's 5 people within a tenth of a second. Billy Fletcher now with a 107.8 puts him in P6. So we've got 2 Ferraris, 2 Fords, and 2 Audis.
Yeah, nice split. There's no BMWs, which is a bit of a disappointment. Arne Chalamet currently sat in P16, currently the only BMW actually in the session.
Yeah.
So just for my ignorance, is the M8 GTE only, I presume?
The M8, yeah, it is.
Yeah. So this one's only the Z4 then, isn't it?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong though, the 108.5 from Arnoud definitely isn't a slow lap. It's still relatively quick. It's just, yeah, the other guys in front of him.
It's just the other drivers are all, we're all like really bunched together on the times, so. Looks like who was that in the background? Raul Suarez Lopez just had a bit of an incident there. He's gone back to the pits. He just clips a bit of the sand, sends him well wide into the tyre barrier.
Yeah, and as we know in our racing, getting your car on the grass is like driving on ice. You won't be able to stop the car and you're just a passenger at that point.
Yeah, we've seen a few people like, as soon as you brake on the grass, that is it. Job done.
Yeah.
You are sailing wherever is ahead. There's no slowing down. Currently 1 second between 1st and 17th. Well, 1st and 18th if it's 1.01.
even, yep.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the whole field within a second. Apart from Daniel, Michael Mason and Josh Thompson. Peter Smith still trying to chase that pole position. He's currently only 7 thousandths of a second behind Mark Fletcher.
Beth goes over the line, doesn't improve though. So yeah, currently sat back in P3. Elliot Harper as well, currently sat back in P12. I mean, I mean, less than half a second off the pole position, which is incredible, really, when you think about it. But he'll be looking to improve on that time and hopefully get into the top 10.
I do agree. Little Freak 1984. Cheers. Windows updates are something nice. So we still have roughly, I think, 5 minutes of qualifying left.
Bit wide there for Mark. That is definitely not going to be counting this lap. Let's have a look at Billy Fletcher, currently sat in P6. Is that going to be it for Billy? He's still got 4 minutes to get that lap in if he is going to move into the top 5, but he's not going to move into the top 5 like that around that corner and straight across it. So that will be that lap done. While Lopez, wherever else is he on the track?
Very, very tight top 5 separated by a 10th. So
Yeah, it's crazy at the front. Really crazy at the front.
So now we're getting into the silly lap now. It's the do or die laps now coming up. Go hard or go home. Still potentially got another 4-ish laps, I'm guessing, if they're already out. Nice to see our watchers are very quiet on the chat tonight. Come on, boys, make some noise. And girls.
Make some noise. Well, Lopez having a bit of a gander at the trees there. Bit of dust kicking up in the background. I'm not sure who that was though. Apologies about the stream quality. It is dropping up and down. I'm kind of monitoring that, which is why I've been a little bit silent, to be honest. I want to keep an eye on everything as it's going.
I always get visions of you being in some sort of like security room with 50 screens monitoring everything.
Pretty much what I've got 4 screens monitoring everything that's going on right now.
I'm struggling a little bit on the stream, I'll be honest. But we've got to do what we've got to do, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. It's only for a week, and yeah, we'll be back to normal from next week.
So we don't see a lot of changes so far. Kieran Smart, though, on a good lap.
Dries Cadera as well, I think, is just on a good lap as well. I think he just went across the line. Did he move up any? Sure he did. I think he's still in P17.
I think he went off.
He is, and Kieran Smart didn't improve his lap time as well. So Kieran stays in P8.
Yeah, I don't think this lap will count either because he went slightly off.
Yeah,
which he's just gone in the pit by the looks of it.
Yeah, last qualifying lap actually. This for everybody. Just moving into the 25 seconds left of the session.
How many seconds of the session?
10 now.
10. Yep.
Wow, I'm miles behind. Okay. Try a panicky refresh, see what happens. Ah, there you go. It's caught up now. I was over a minute behind.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's where there's a lot of issues we're having to deal with tonight because obviously you
No,
would
no,
normally
no.
view it from Discord instead, but I think that is
Well,
Callum
it's
Brandt done.
qualifying done.
Mark Fletcher
Callum
still on the lap.
Brandt actually puts himself in P8, by the way, with a 107.8 as well.
Very nice lap.
So where we have 4 people in the 107.7s, we've got another 4 in the 107.8. It's
82, 83, 84, and 88. That's not bad, is it?
Mark comes into the pits. That's not going to be a lap from Mark. Still got Honor Shine out on track.
cheers for the follow. Too many mushrooms. And Arnoud is gonna come across the line right now, but he's not. He's actually
he's not putting
stopping
that
the
lap
car,
in.
so he's not
Yeah.
putting a lap in.
Yeah, so there we go. That is it for qualifying. Gonna wait until we get the gridding on screen for everybody. Looking forward to this race.
Yeah.
Who are you looking forward to win? I mean, we've got Stephen Bird on pole at the moment. I think that's the first pole position this season for Stephen.
It is. I'm gonna give the race win to Mark Fletcher. I don't wanna jinx it for him, but
Sorry, Mark.
he had a good race last week, so which unfortunately didn't end well, or at least he had that spin when he was fighting for position with Peter for the entire race for the race win. So yeah, I'm rooting for Mark Fletcher this race.
And Mark, who are you going for?
I'm going to go with Stephen Bird to take the double.
Stephen Bird to take the double. Right, okay.
Right, they are gridding up. Normally I have a little eye on the stream as well for the standings or the gridding standings, so I'm just gonna call it as of now because I am a little bit behind. On pole position, we've got Stephen Bird. In P2 it's Mark Fletcher. P3 it's Peter Smith. P4 Adam Southgate. P5 Luke McKeon. P6 Billy Fletcher. P7 Raul Suarez Lopez. P8 Callum Brandt. P9 Kieran Smart. P10 David Fasole. P11 Martin Hobson. P12 Elliot Harper. P13 Jason Hudson. P14 Matthew Hodges. P15 Matt Acton. P16 is Arnaud Channonier. P17 Dries Kader. P18 Miles Owens. P19 Daniel Merchant. P20 Michael Mason. And P21 Josh Thompson. Oh wow. That's the first, probably the last as well, but we've got the full parade lap as well.
I think the track will be more into play rather than the drivers, I think.
I think it's going to be who's the most consistent and keeps it on the grey stuff and not putting a wheel on the gravel or the grass.
That's where I went wrong.
But yeah, looking at the qualifying lap times, I do hope it's going to be that close in the race as well, which is going to give us a lot of battles to watch. So it's Stephen Bird this time who can control the pace behind the pace car. Once that comes in, it's all up to him.
Looks like
Good evening,
Michael
Roberto.
Mason. Yeah, looks like Michael Mason didn't actually take to
Grid
the
up?
pit. Didn't grid up. Sorry. Evening, Roberto.
Not quite sure where he is. I'm not seeing that he, in one way or another, disconnected from the session. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Maybe he's just starting for the pits.
He may will.
I've got a funny feeling I'm a fair bit behind on the string, guys.
It could be a delay in me sending it out though as well, so yeah, there could be many factors in that, unfortunately. We're just gonna have to live through it for this one. And then next week we'll be back to full swing. I've noticed my phone is actually quite behind as well, so
Okay, yeah, it's not just me. Let
They are
Ruben
on the
lead
back
it.
straight now, and the pace car is coming in as of now. So it's waiting on Stephen Bird to go. Entering the last turn. And they're off. Let's go, go, go. Not a lot of position changes so far.
there they're off. It's looking quite clean into the first corner, hopefully, so far. Hopefully that's no famous last words.
Ooh, Callum Brandt and Roel Suarez side by side coming out of turn 1. But it's Callum Brandt on the inside there.
Ronald Chenier's had a good start and well down up 3 places so far.
Saw a little bit of dust kicking up of people just hitting a little bit of gravel on the outside of turn 2 on the exit. But so far so good. Although the front 3 pulled a little gap to Adam Southgate in P4, who's got Billy Fletcher right behind him. Billy Fletcher, as we've seen him do at Sebring as well, showing his car on the inside, not making a move, but putting the pressure on Adam. Oh, and Roel Suarez went wide on the last turn. So that's Kieran Smart taking his position. And now it's even Stephen Bird and Mark Fletcher who seem to be able to pull a little bit of a gap to Peter Smith. So it does seem that they definitely have a little bit of a better car. So far so good. It's a nice little train we see of cars all on track still. It's Stephen Bird who had a good lap, 108.4, Mark Fletcher with a 108.6, and Peter Smith with a 108.7. It's still close, but as of now, Stephen seems to control the race quite well in those opening laps. Oh, and Peter Smith had a big moment coming into turn 2, almost lost the car, and he's losing a position to Adam, and ooh, I was gonna say to Billy, but there was slight contact between him and Billy is off. Billy is off. Billy now dropping back quite a lot of positions. He was trying to go on the outside before turning into turn, well, I'm not even quite sure if it's turn 3 or turn 4. He's back on track, but lost out quite a lot. So as of now, it's Stephen Bird leading in front of Mark Fletcher, Adam Southgate in P3, and Peter Smith in P4. Luke McKeon is P5. And let's see where Billy Fletcher ends up. Billy Fletcher dropped down to P19 from what I'm seeing.
Looks like his namesake Mark Fletcher's just done the fastest lap, first one to go on the 108.
Yeah, he closed that gap down. There was not much between them, but he is closing down that gap. Adam Southgate is trying to get close to him, but he was over half a second slower on that last lap than Mark and Stephen. So they seem to be leading quite comfortably.
So Luke McKeon just going up into fourth, taking Peter Smith. And the current race leader also has gone fastest lap, 107.9. So I'm so far behind on the stream that someone's asking if it was a netcode release issue.
Well, I've been looking at it, and it's if it was a netcode, it was still really close. I think I would call it a racing incident. I saw Peter break in before going into that little right kink, and Billy maybe just cut across his nose a tiny bit too much, which unfortunately caused the contact between them. Oh, and there's one car off. I think that's Raul Suarez Lopez,
yeah,
who went off.
gone down into 20th now.
And Billy did hit the wall with the front of his car, so he may be suffering from a little bit of damage as well. It's Peter Smith, who's now even in P5 behind Luke McKeon. So, yeah.
So 6.5 laps gone so far. Stephen Bird currently leading ahead of Mark Fletcher by just over half a second. Adam Southgate and Luke McKeon third and fourth, a couple of seconds apart for each of those two as well. So a little gap between the top two developing already.
Right. Yes, Raul Suarez, he did have that incident before. I think he's currently even in P19. and he started in P7, so he dropped quite a lot of positions, while Billy Fletcher's just overtaken Dries Kader, puts himself in P15 and is also on the inside of Miles Owens into turn 1. Gets the move done, puts himself in P14. Though Miles is not giving it up that easily. Not quite sure what happened with Elliot Harper or what was going on as we just watched the replay on the stream.
Oh, come on.
So it's definitely the front two, Stephen Bird and Mark Fletcher pulling away from Adam Southgate. Although Adam is putting in some reasonable lap times, he's just not able to follow the pace of Stephen and Mark. You can see as well Peter Smith struggling a little bit as well. He's definitely not able to stay close to Luke, who's slowly pulling away. And maybe when Luke gets a little bit of free air from behind, he will be able to close the gap down to Adam Southgate. So I'm having a little look on who gained the most positions so far, and I think that's Arnaud Channonier, currently in P11, trying to chase down Jason Hutchin in P10. Arnaud started in P16. And although he's trying to chase him down, he's got Matt Acton relatively close behind as well. But the biggest battle is the battle in front between Mark Fletcher and Stephen Bird, still. Let's have a little look on Raul Suarez Lopez. Raul Suarez Lopez pitted, so yeah, probably because of the damage. We do know we have one fast repair for this league. So with all that was going on, he probably decided to just take his early pit stop, although it's 16, or roughly when he came in 15 minutes into this race. Will Arnaud Channonier losing position, although right in front of him, I'm not quite sure who that was. I think Jason Hutchin, who went off. Arnaud Channonier lost a couple of positions due to slowdown, and he just lost the position to Billy Fletcher, who kept it around the outside in going into turn 2. So nice move by Billy. Did I just jinx it for Arnaud though? I made it. Peter Smith seems to close down the gap a little bit by the way to Luke. Just a tiny bit. So let's see if he can bring the fight to Luke again. While Mark Fletcher continuously puts the pressure on Stephen Bird. P1, the two Ferraris definitely shows that the car and of course the drivers as well, those are two quick drivers in a good car on this track.
Yeah, it's interesting how a couple of weeks ago a few of the guys were lamenting or lambasting the poor old Ford for being too quick, yet we said all along some tracks suit other cars more, don't they?
Well,
and definitely a Ferrari track.
Even last week, Mark was able to stay close. It wasn't
no one
easy,
pulled away,
but he was able to stay close. So unfortunately, he had that incident where he lost the car, I believe, in one of these chicanes, if I'm correct, which unfortunately ended the battle between him and Peter for the race win. So I mean, could have gone either way.
I think it was the sausage curb we named it, wasn't
it? Yep. The sausage chicane.
Yeah, sausage chicane.
But this could be, depending on how the race will finish, of course, we still have about 30 minutes of racing left. That it could be the first race win for Ferrari in this league this season. Because I do think the Ford have won 4 races and the other 2 races were won by the Audi. And Mark Fletcher going for the move on the inside into turn 1 and has a better drive out of it as well. So it's certainly looking like he's taking the position, although Stephen Bird still keeping his car on the inside. So, oh no, Stephen Bird backs out. I was hoping for him to put his car on the inside and make it side by side going into turn 2, but he decided to play it a little bit more safe, which is probably the wisest thing to do as well. So that puts Mark Fletcher into P1 and Stephen Bird into P2. Now let's see if Stephen is able to stay close behind Mark.
Who put the curse on Mark earlier?
That was me. Don't mention it again. Don't mention it again.
I think you're winning on that as well.
Definitely a nice move there. Like I said, unfortunately for the viewers, Stephen didn't stay on the inside there going into turn 2, but probably the wisest thing to do because you don't want to make contact there, because with all the tire barriers on the side of the track and the slippery grass and gravel trap, could be a race over as well, which would have put maybe Adam Southgate in front, who knows. It all didn't went how I thought it would go, so Mark's still leading the way.
There's plenty of time.
There is.
Only
there
3
is.
tenths, 4 tenths behind. So,
well, if it stays this close, then it's definitely gonna go down to the pit stops again. And maybe, guessing, did Mark do some fuel saving behind Stephen in those first 13, 14 laps while he was behind Stephen? And what is Stephen going to do? Is he maybe going to do the same or trying to do the same? Who knows? Well, I'll have to wait and see until they come into the pit. And it looks like Adam did close that gap down a little bit. If it was because of the battle between the two, could be. But it was over roughly 2.5 seconds and it's now 1.5, so did Adam all of a sudden found some extra pace, or did he have a hidden button with some extra boost? Who knows?
Speaking of boost, Billy Fletcher's working his way through the field after his earlier incident. He's now up to 10th. He's just taken Matthew Hodges, and look at that curse for you. Matthew's just taken it back, so Billy's back down to 11th. Now Billy's overtaken it. Ooh, it's all go, isn't it? There you go. Billy's through this time, 2 tenths ahead now, so he's managed to keep his nose in front.
Billy is through indeed. So that puts him in P10.
Yep, so still 4 places off where he started, but looking at the gaps ahead, possible he can get another 2 or 3, I would have thought.
Yeah, he should be able to with the pace he normally has. Looking at Jason, he isn't that far in front, and David isn't far in front of Jason, so at least
got
those two, yeah, should be
Just-
doable for Billy.
Yeah, just looking at his lap times, he's roughly between 3/10 and 5/10 quicker than the two in front. So it's going to take a fair few laps at that rate.
And while we're saying that, Peter Smith is having a battle with Luke McKeon, and Peter Smith puts his car on the outside into turn one, makes himself going in for the... Oh, there's contact between Luke and Peter. They're both going off, and Peter's... Oh, he's rolling the car. Oh, my dear. He had the car on the inside there for turn two, but I think he just came across the front of Luke. They made contact, and Peter towed back to the pit because, yeah, he rolled that car.
Ouch.
And Luke McKeon is still going though, but he obviously lost some positions. I'm not quite sure where he fell back to. Let's have a little look. He is behind Matthew Hodges, so he's probably somewhere around P11, P12. But Peter Smith, being the championship leader,
He's in the pit.
it's gonna be interesting. As we see from the top view, or as we saw from the top view, it didn't seem like a lot of contact, but enough to spin the car around. And yeah, Luke didn't have anywhere to go as well, so that's really unfortunate for the both of them. But Peter Smith still in pit, probably towing, and has to... I'm not quite sure. He still has that false repair, so we'll see when he comes out of the pit.
That's going to be a very fast repair, isn't it?
So it is Stephen Bird still close behind Mark Fletcher. Southgate is roughly on the same gap, between 1.5 and 2 seconds still.
Just in case we haven't, just a quick shout out to Phantom Zero Esport for the follow. I'm a little bit behind, but I don't recall if we mentioned that.
We didn't, so cheers, Mark. Indeed,
No,
cheers
okay.
for the follow, Phantom Zero Esport. For everybody who is watching the stream at this point, this isn't the way we normally stream. The man that does it all and produces it all moved last weekend and had to try and figure out a way to stream. So we will be back next week with just a slightly improved or slightly an improved stream. So just bear with us, and cheers for the follow and watching the race with us.
Billy Fletcher's just lost a couple of places. Looking at whilst you were saying that, Ruben, he's managed to slide down 3 places.
I'm sorry, who?
Billy Fletcher.
Billy Fletcher. Billy Fletcher currently in P8, or at least no, he's not. Not quite sure what happened there. Oh, he turned 1. He puts in. I think. Wow, I'm not quite sure who that was right in front of him. That was Jason Hutchin. I think Jason was lucky there because Billy caught the grass on the outside, braking for turn 1, and just puts himself in spin. And as I said, I think Jason was lucky not to get collected in that spin. And that's really unfortunate for Billy, who had a good coming back to 3 positions. I was looking earlier to the lap times of Adam Southgate, and he doesn't seem to be that much quicker than Mark and Steven, although in the last lap he was about a 10th quicker though. But apart from that, he's matching the same lap times as 2 in front, so he's not really closing down that gap. Callum Ryan in P4, having a good race. Kieran Smart in P5. Jason Hutchin started P13, currently in P6. Matthew Hodges started in P14, currently in 7th. Arnaud Channonier, P16, and I was in 8th. And Dries their started in P17 is now P9. So there are quite a lot of people who took advantage of what was going on track. I think I just saw Peter Smith standing next to the pit on the grass. Seems like he lost it coming out of the last turn, I reckon. Not quite sure what happened there. I'm having a look at the moment.
Elliot Harper's gone in the pit, so I'm not sure if the window's opening.
Just a little recap on what happened with Peter Smith just a couple of minutes ago. David Fasole was right in front of him and unfortunately caught the gravel on the outside of the last turn, spin the car, and Peter was a bystander and got caught up in that moment. So it's definitely not Peter's race. Peter was in the pit again. We've got a question from Machinone. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that completely wrong. What the strength of field is for this race. I am not quite sure. I'm gonna ask the man behind the scenes. Maybe he knows. Phil? Yeah, roughly around 3,000 strength of field. Mag. We're just gonna give it. We're gonna give it a go with mag. Sounds good. No, roughly it's around 3,000 R rating. So
there are some guys I remember from last week looking the likes of name escapes me. Current leader.
Mark Fletcher.
No, sorry, not in the race, in the championship.
Peter.
Peter, sorry. Oh, gone completely back. Peter Smith and is it Adam Southgate? They're sort of 4,500 plus, aren't they?
I think Peter's roughly around 4.5. Fletcher, I think Mark Fletcher is around 5.2 or just over 5. So yeah, in the top of the field we've got drivers just approximately between 4 and 5k R rating. Quite a couple in the 3 and above 2, which eventually means that we have an average of roughly 3k strength of field. I think this is the lowest turnout this season with 21 cars on track. Normally we are roughly close to at least 30 cars on track. But of course people have lives outside of the CXR championship as well.
How rude.
As in work. So I mean, yeah, sometimes it is what it is. But we're still looking at a nice battle in front between Stephen Bird and Mark Fletcher. Stephen Bird isn't letting go of Mark, which is nice to see.
Yeah, it's keeping the gap constant half a second roughly, isn't it? And it's what Mark was doing to Stephen before he started pressing a little bit harder and got past. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. The pit window, I suspect, will be open any minute now for fueling. So Daniel Merchant's just gone in P10.
Yeah,
is he
he's coming into the pit now.
Is he filling in for Dennis Meisner still? Because I know he was it last week he was filling in?
Yeah, last week, yeah.
Oh, Andreas Hausdorff I've just been whispered to, so his guest appearance continues. So he's having a good run at the moment.
Well,
so
he's having a decent race. He was in P11 and he just had his stop, so he is one of the first with the regular pit stop. Coming out of the pit now, sitting in P15. Although I do think that Matt Acton just overtook him coming into turn 1. Just having a higher top end on that main straight.
So I'm gathering by the fact Peter Smith's still in the pit that his fast repair doesn't actually repair much.
Well, no, he took his fast repair. He came out, but he was in an incident with David Fasole, who unfortunately lost the car on the exit of the last turn and spun right in front of Peter. Peter did brake, but yeah, he couldn't stop the car in time to avoid David, so unfortunately got collected again. And yeah, he already used his fast repair, so
So Arnaud Chanier's in and now on the way out.
So this is round 7 of 8 of the CXR US GT3 Championship. Tonight we are at Summit Point. Next week we've got the last round of the season at Watkins Glen, and I think that we're gonna pronounce the new season next week as well. But that's keep an eye on it, and if you want to learn more about next season as well, or the current standings, etc. for this season, you could head over to our Discord. Just put it up in chat.
Yeah, check you.
There you go. There you go. Just in between the racing, Mark. Just in between the racing.
Yeah, very, very multitasking, eh? Like it. So now the top 10 have all pitted. Sorry, it's still to pit. Make that the top 8 now because a couple just dived in.
Yeah, Jason just dove into the pits, coming out as of now, and just got overtaken by Luke.
Leaders are in. Mark and Stephen have both dived in. And so's Adam Southgate.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, top 5 are in. Kieran's having another good race. Just seeing he's gone up to 5th at the moment, and he is pitting.
So Mark led the race in front of Steven. Let's see who's going to come out of the pit first. Oh, it's roughly the same. It's roughly the same. Mark is still in front of Steven.
If anything, he's actually opened the gap by 3 tenths by the looks of it.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, but it looked like roughly the same time that they were actually standing still in their box, so not a lot in between. I think Adam lost a little bit of more time to those in front. Another nice battle that's seeming to brew is Kieran Smart and Callum Brandt, both going wide. Yeah, both going wide into turn 2, or the exit of turn 2. Monkey see, monkey do is what I heard somebody say once. But that could be quite a nice battle for P4, both having a good race so far.
So everyone has done their original pit by the looks of it. Just having a quick look. Earliest was lap 19, so it should be enough to go round. So currently, what ones have we got of note? Daniel Merchant's only 3 tenths behind Davide Fasole, 14th and 15th. Kieran Smart is behind Callum Brandt, just 4 tenths behind at the moment. Matt Acton, 6 tenths behind Trees Kadir in 12th and 13th. And Stephen Birdie's got the gap back down to roughly 5 tenths.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting last 15 minutes of this race.
I'm sort of guessing there's roughly 13, 14 laps to go.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. And this week we don't have any sweaty cams, obviously all due to how we had to. Oh wow! While I was going to say that, Callum Brandt nearly lost the car there, coming out of the last turn onto the main straight. That gives the run for Kieran Smart.
He's going to take him.
Callum defends the inside.
Oh.
Well done by Callum. To keep his car in that position. Kieran has a little bit of a better run coming out of turn 1, but again Callum takes the defending line there, so no position changes there. But like I said, this is definitely battle brewing. It's not a two Ferraris battling though, Mark. You should love what you're seeing at the moment.
I am in 3-minute delay. Brilliant. Nothing wrong with that. I'll get to see it for even longer. No, it's just nice to mix it up. Like I say, it's a shame really. There's like no BMWs and McLarens and things because last season obviously the McLarens romped away in the European rounds.
Well, I think that's we've talked about that earlier as well, or before, that you're gonna see sort of a different car popping up every single season.
Yeah,
for all we know,
one
it
they
could
need
be
to
the
flog.
BMW. Oh, for all we know, it could be the BMW Z4 next season or the Audi R8. But for this season, the Ferrari, as well as the Ford, depending on the track, of course, seems to be the car to choose. The Audi, most of the time, is a good balanced car, but this season, although it had 2 race wins, though, I need to correct myself there.
Is
It had 2
anyone
race
racing in the
wins
Merc
already.
tonight?
Yeah, we've got Dries Kader racing in the Merc, and Josh Thompson is racing in the Merc. Not quite sure who else is, but at least those 2 are.
Be nice to see that near the front as well, mixing it up. Any Audi lovers here?
Well, Stephen Bird definitely putting the pressure again on Mark Fletcher, though. Showing his car into the rear view mirrors of Mark, trying to put pressure on him, forcing Mark to make a mistake, but he doesn't. But he's definitely putting the fight. He's bringing the fight to Mark. He's not gonna give him the win that easily, or even trying to take the win from him. So it's gonna be an interesting next 10 minutes. And the battle between Kieran and Callum died down a little bit. Callum now has a little gap to Kieran Smart. Talking about the Merc, as I said before, Dries Kader, currently in P12, is being chased down by Matt Acton. So that could be another battle that we have to keep an eye on.
It's interesting how a lot of the field's spreading out on such a small track. Got a bit of brand syndrome here, haven't we?
Well, I mean, it shows that you could be quick over 1 lap. I mean, we know that roughly the whole field was within 1.5 seconds, so 21 cars within 1.5 seconds of pole time. But I mean, that only shows the 1 lap pace. It doesn't show the consistency during the whole race, and how you drive the car and how you maintain the tires and everything that comes into play. So yeah, that definitely spreads out the field a little bit more. And there we've got it, driver of the day. So for the people who are new and watching, type in the number you see on the right bottom of your screen. So Adam Southgate number 1, Billy Fletcher 2, etc. Only put the number in the chat, press enter, and it will automatically give you give your vote to that particular driver. And you can wait until the end of the race. You don't have to do it straight away. And Mark, keep in mind that you put in the right number.
Yeah, well, I've got to wait a little while before it pops up so I can work out what's what. But I was just about to say, it depends if Davide's got his family online again watching to vote for him. He hasn't been back since. He won driver of the week, is he? There it is. So I'm not that far behind then.
Oh, and there's another. I think there's another battle coming on track as well between Jason Hutchin, Martin Hobson, and Billy Fletcher. Billy Fletcher, although he had all those incidents on track, currently in P9, chasing down Martin Hobson and Jason. So depending on how it goes, he may be able to grab P7 in the end. Which, with all that happened, you probably will be happy with. So there we see Falcon Sim putting their vote in, as well as Winus. Number 3 and number 10. Forgive me, I'm not quite sure who those.
Callum and
Who's number
who's
10?
number 3? Phil's
Don't
gone
say
for
anything in
number
chat. Don't say anything in chat. I want to know who number 10. Wait.
3. Kieran.
Oh, that's scary. Oh, well, yeah, I can understand. He's having a really good race, but the same goes for Callum Brand, to be honest, which gets the votes from Falcon Sim and our own Mr. Phil. I'm still waiting, though. I'm gonna.
Can't change your mind once you voted.
So in the meantime, while Stephen Bird is still relatively close to Mark Fletcher for that race win, we definitely have a battle on our hands for P7 between Jason, Martin, and Billy. One Audi R8 against the 2 Ferrari GT3s. Quite interesting how to see how in some parts of the track they just take a little bit of a different line. Ooh, and Billy just had a nice little oversteer coming onto that back straight. Kept the car though. And another vote for Callum by Phoenix. Well, Jason took the defending line there going into turn 1, although not quite sure if he had to do that. Martin wasn't that close to really make a move. And Billy still lurking behind the 2, hoping to grab both positions.
Yeah, sun setting in the background on the screen.
Yeah, it's nice to watch, isn't it? While Matt Acton just overtook Dries Kader. Nice move there. Puts Matt Acton in P12 and Dries Kader in P13. And since there was one driver who dropped out of this session, which is Raul Suarez Lopez, that means that every single driver on the track, no matter where he is, like Peter, who's still in the pit, will get points, score points. For Peter, although it still will be only 1 point, but it's a point. Oh, and Billy just went off behind both of them. So for now, Billy seems to be out of that battle between Martin and Jason. He nearly lost it coming out of turn 1, tapping the back of Martin, and then nearly went wide coming out of turn 2. I'm sorry, I'm struggling with my words. But I'm not quite sure if he will have the time to catch up with both of them. So I think we'll have to keep an eye on the battle for P7 as well as P1 and P2. And it could be me, but I don't think I'm wrong when I say that it seems to be 2 teams fighting for position. It's Mark Fletcher and Jason who are from the same team, both leading in that battle, as well as Stephen Bird and Martin Hobson. So it's nice that Phil puts up the actual standings on the left-hand side of the screen, because otherwise we wouldn't know what battle we were watching. P1, P2, or P7, P8.
So back to, are we on P8? Oh.
Yeah, it's P7, P8, I think.
That's fine.
Showing on the stream.
It's on
Is-
shown on the street, but I'm not sure if that's in real time what's being shown. But
Well, I said that we couldn't see, but
yeah,
you'll
I've
see the
got
numbers on the
cars.
top
Yeah,
right of the cars. Yeah. But we're
I've
back
gone
on
for
board.
Jason as my driver of the day because he's gone up 6 places from the start. So obviously a very good drive from him.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Very good drive.
David Fasole just looking at the screens, just gaining on Andres Kader. He's just overtaken him into 13th and he's just gone wide. Oh dear. So I think he's gone off actually. He's gone off. Oh dear. So I'm not sure if he overcooked it. I'm sure we'll see shortly. Meanwhile, at the front, Stephen Bird appears to be 4 tenths. He's gaining a little bit on Mark Fletcher now, so I don't know if he's going to try and turn the screw, so to speak, to try and put a little bit more pressure with a few laps to go.
Well, I think we're even on the last lap.
Are we? Ooh.
I think we are on the last lap. And so far, I could be wrong, but I think we are. And so far, it seems to be that Mark just has that little advantage over Steven.
Just overshot it, yeah.
Mark just needs to keep it all together in that last sector on track, the short track of Summit Point Raceway. So far, so good. Mark is now on that back straight coming onto the last turn, so that's the only place where he needs to hold the car on the grey stuff, which he does. So well done to Mark
Taking
for
his
this
maiden
race win.
Stephen Bird finishing in second.
Yeah,
so our new championship leader,
very good race by both of them.
Adam Southgate has crossed the line in third. Callum Brandt, Kieran Smart, so a good result for Kieran in fifth.
That's Luke coming across the line in P6. Wait. We missed something with the battle between Jason and Martin, because Martin dropped quite a lot of places, and it's actually Billy Fletcher finishing in behind Jason in P8.
Ah, I've just noticed that.
Sorry?
Martin, finished 12th in the end.
Martin just puts his wheel on the grass. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Martin Hobson was having a great race and a great battle between with Jason for P7, but that gives Billy Fletcher P8, Matthew Hodges P9, Arnaud Chardonnay P10, Matt Acton P11, and Martin Hobson finishing in P12. Elliot Harper finished in P13, Daniel Merchant P14, and David Fasole, I think, is the last one that finished in P15.
And a lot of votes going in at the end there for Callum. So it looks like he's going to still driver of the day.
Keep the driver of the day up. Race results are on screen. Whoever wants to go through them.
Don't mind, I'll run through them. So I'll use my screen. Hopefully they tie up then. So Mark Fletcher takes his maiden win ahead of Stephen Bird in second place. Adam Southgate, going to be our new championship leader into the final round next week, finishes third. Callum Brandt in fourth, driver of the day. Kieran Smart in fifth, Luke McKeon sixth, Jason Hodgson seventh, Billy Fletcher eighth, Matthew Hodges ninth, Arnold Chardonnay back after a week's absence 10th, Matt Acton 11th, Martin Hobson 12th, Elliot Harper 13th, Daniel Merchant filling in 14th, Davide Fasole in 15th, Dries Kader 16th, Josh Thompson 17th, 18th was Michael Mason, 19th Miles Owen. Peter Smith, unfortunately, looks like he retired on the second attempt, finishing 20th, and Raul Suarez Lopez rounding things up in 21st.
Yes, there we have it. We are on to the final round next week at Watkins Glen, where we will be back to the full shebang of me being able to actually stream properly instead of bracing myself every time it drops, as I have been
did
today.
a job.
Yeah, it's done a job. It has been a little bit out of sync, etc. But so yeah, I do apologise about that, but not really much I could do. Best we can
Well, I think people enjoyed the stream.
Yeah, hopefully.
So, cheers. Only the details.
Yep.
And
cheers,
it was
guys.
quite a good race to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was action packed. Yeah, plenty going on. Watkins Glen is always a good race at Watkins Glen, especially for a final round of the season as well. So yeah, should be looking forward to that. Just want to thank all the guys in race control, Neil, Aaron and Ed. Cheers everyone for watching, and cheers to you, Mark and Ruben. And yeah, we will catch everybody next week. I'm not going to string on the stream for too much longer because I want to kill the connection so that it doesn't.
Phil is done with the stream for tonight. But yeah, cheers for everybody sticking with it and watching our stream, and we'll all see you next week.
Yep.
Take care.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.
Love you too.